Nobody even cares. Good morning, everyone. Now that everybody's quiet, tell me something good.
Cookies.
Cookies. If you're not in the office this morning for team meeting, you're missing out on the cookies. There are 3 boxes full of them back there.
Like that.
And by looks of it, they're gonna be gone in about 5 minutes, so.
And that's it, they're flying off the shelves.
Something good, I was just telling Josh, I was just calling a bunch of people yesterday off of Title Toolbox, just talking to them about the equity in their house. Really easy conversations, people enjoy talking about how much money their house is worth and how much equity they have. Pretty simple, easy conversations to have, so. That was fun.
That's
It
fine.
was a good Monday, yeah.
You know, last week I talked about that house that's on the market. I was a little leery about the price. So I had them sign 2 price reductions. So yesterday was day 1, first day of the first price reduction, 11 grand.
Seriously.
Working on my last thing yesterday morning. An agent called me and said, is that property still available? Because an agent was showing up to 285. She went and showed it, cash offer. Well,
Wow.
Sweet.
closed in 10 days.
Oh.
The escrow check just arrived about 5 minutes ago, by the way.
I was telling my coach,
10 grand, right?
I was telling my coach about that, about how you got, 2 listing change forms signed up front. He's like, that's very old school. I'm like,
He's like,
right, it works.
did you ever see his old school picture? He
We have it.
Anybody else?
I think it gets meat in the game. I think they get, they,
Yeah,
like, okay, so I'll do it for you. But you do this for me because I'm not comfortable at that price, but I'll market it that way.
Yeah. I'm gonna share one more, just because I obviously Legion, I love Legion, but, I called Chillicothe yesterday. And, through Title Toolbox, I basically was locating people that she'd been in her house roughly 40 years. And it's just one of those lucky things, you throw a hook in the water and the fish was right there. And she's like, well, believe it or not, this is no lie. She's like, I'm in the middle of, packing and getting rid of stuff right now. She's like, I'm in the market for either a condo or to rent. And literally, I got in the way of before she raised her hand going, hey, I'm looking for a realtor. I was there right before she did that, basically. And it's not a huge one, right? Yeah, about 40, about 50, somewhere around there, but literally, she's like, my husband passed. She's like, I'm in the middle of purging, getting rid of stuff, getting the house ready. I'm gonna be looking for a realtor. So before she raised her hand going, who knows a realtor? That was the conversation. So
Timing is everything.
It really is. Like, I didn't have any appointments in the morning, right? Cause I should be lead genning, so. I took advantage of it.
Okay, a good thing is Jesse's having a baby tomorrow. Yoo-hoo!
I'd say, hurry up already. I'm tired of all this baby talk around here.
Those Adams.
Sorry, well, certain. All right, well, it is kind of the first of the month, right? I mean, it feels like middle of June. I feel sometimes like Miro, where we're like, always stats out the month after that's, right? Now there's new stats out, but no, that's not entirely true. I'm playing, but yeah, we're gonna celebrate our June here in a minute. Or May. Dude, see what I mean? I was ready to celebrate June, but you know, drag me back to May. Golf outing. Hey, Teets. Oh, Krieger's in here too. We're about 30 days out from the golf outing. Any updates, anything we need to know about, in the near term?
I think we got 22 teams.
Yep.
Nice. Signed up.
Yep, so we need, we'd like to see
16
14 more teams, and then anybody know anybody's full sponsors to participate for $250. Yeah, we're getting close.
That's good.
Volunteer signups haven't gone out yet, right?
Good call.
Yeah, I know Seth's kind of Seth's recovering, I think, from vacation, so we're giving him a little bit of a break. I didn't call him in this morning knowing that he's probably pulling his hair out this morning, so.
He didn't wreck a snowmobile, did he?
No,
Oh.
we went to Colorado.
So anyway, we'll get some more details put out on that here in the next handful of days. Anybody signed up for Mega Agent Camp? See, August already, so we're 60 days out all of a sudden from Mega Camp, which sounds ridiculous. But that's right, summer's almost over, so hurry up and enjoy it. Tomorrow morning, Ryan and I are gonna be here at 9 AM. That means there is no Capra call, by the way, tomorrow. So come to this room. Instead, we're gonna talk about listing presentations and CMAs. I've had more conversations about CMAs in the last 2 weeks than I have in the last 5 years. And some of this comes from veteran agents going, hey, I don't even know how to price stuff anymore. I think that's valid. Some of this comes from brand new agents that are going, I've never even done it. How do I look that up? What's an RPR? So we're gonna go through some detail. I would love to have some veteran voices in the room because you're gonna have some different ideas. Ryan and I were already bouncing some ideas off each other this morning, and he's like, yeah, I don't do that. And I'm like, you know what? Those are good things to hear what veteran agents are doing versus the kind of textbook strategies, right?
You know, when at first I was like, why would I do that? And this was talking about looking up, and some of
Expired.
you, yeah, some of you guys are probably like, why you don't do that, but, expires and withdrawals, and I'm like, my mindset was like, well, it didn't sell, so why would I, you know, look at them at all? But honestly, there's clues there. Why didn't that sell? That could help me like not overprice a listing or something to that effect. I've just never looked at it. So I do things probably a little different.
I don't look at those either for what it's worth.
Yeah, I can already, like, cause my mind was racing with it. I'm like, why would I do something like that? And I'm like, no, you can move that, Trish. Yeah, just throw it down on the ground or something. But at the end of it, I'm like, well, and there's not a lot of them right now anyways, but if let's just say a good agent had a listing and it was on the market for 100 and something days and it was very comparable to your house and it didn't sell, like, well, why do you think that is?
Yeah.
Right, and I could say, that's a good agent. That she should have sold that house, right? And it didn't sell. Do you want to repeat what they just did? Right?
No,
So,
that's good.
yeah,
Please RSVP, lunch is being provided by IMB, and I would like to get them a head count today. So
Thank you for that reminder. So if you don't RSVP, you're not getting lunch. That's what it comes out. Get over it. If you didn't see this email, well, I don't know if you guys saw this email or not. You took an ethics course last year as part of your renewal, probably. If you didn't, you need to go back and look at what you're doing with ethics for the year. But here's the challenge. Some people that have taken it through their CE Shop or Real Estate Institute are not getting credit for their ethics courses. All right, so if that sounds like you, just know that the state of Illinois or NAR or whoever looks at ethics doesn't have a record of your completion.
Did
Okay,
anybody take the CE classes at Mira?
if you took them at Mira, you don't have to worry about it.
We have a couple of agents that took it at Mira that got the email that said they didn't get ethics, and I was like, did they screw this up and not provide ethics? Did you guys get the email that said it? Okay,
Well, if
Christy
you did,
forwarded me hers, and she took it at Mira, and she's like, they didn't give me the right classes.
all right, if you took
So-
your ethics class at Mira, you should be covered.
Yeah,
If you took your ethics class online or through a different vendor, what's happening is, it's not that you don't get credit for it, it's just that Mira will not give you credit for it. They won't put your name up through the system. So you have to go back to the CE Shop, you're gonna have to ask them to go put your name through the system. Does that make sense? It's not hard, it's a little bit of a challenge. Hopefully it affects nobody in this room or online. But if it does, you can call me or you can, scream at Diane, you choose. Did you see Megan light up over there? She-
So I just chose option 2.
Jessica Mays joined us. She is not in the room, but she is on the Coulard group, or she's on Seth's team. Specifically as property manager, right?
Yeah.
If I had a property I wanted to manage, would I call Jessica?
yep, if you have anybody that needs a rental.
is
We've
that
had,
just in Bloomington?
right now, yeah. Yeah, if you have anybody that needs a rental, or if you have anybody that needs properties managed.
Are
I'll
you
give you
guys
her
look-
information.
Are you thinking you're gonna branch out or you?
Yeah, possibly. Right now, we started this to take on Seth's portfolio, so we have to get his under control first.
Right.
So, that's probably gonna take a few months, but yeah. maybe.
Let me know if it's family.
Yeah.
All right.
I have a question about the last thing you're talking about. We have to get it recorded with Mira or we have to get it recorded with NAR? Both?
Well, it has to, ultimately, it has to be recorded through NAR.
If you do it through Mira, they'll put it with Tenor.
Yeah, if you do it through Mira, you can just call Mira and they'll take care of it. If you didn't, then you have to go back to whoever you took the course with and they will take care of it. Dylan Force, welcome to Keller Williams. There is no better name in real estate than Dylan Force, right? So I think that's impressive. Heidi West, if you remember Heidi West, she's back. So welcome back, Heidi. I don't see her on the call. That's all right.
Is she back as an individual or a team?
She came back to my team.
Where did she go? Cool.
Where did she go?
In a couple places.
Yeah, she went on her own to the real estate group and then went back to
That's
Premier.
I was thinking of real estate.
Yeah, went back to Premier and then jumped back.
Sometimes it just takes a minute to remember how awesome.
That's right.
It's all right. Plenty of grace for everyone. First transaction, James McMillian. You know, I might have missed. I said Dylan Force is a great real estate name, but McMillian, it's a pretty great real estate name. And he's making it real. I mean, all of a sudden, James has a whole lot of business and, if you're not watching him around this office, if you don't know, he's got an office back by Teets. And, he's in there every day working on, he's got a couple of listings today and he's got some buyers he's working with, so
Where's he doing business?
big stuff's gonna happen. This little thing right here, it looks like this. Honestly, all his business is coming from for sale by owners. He does have an investor that he works with, but, for sale by owners. He's got 2 listings today, both for sale by owners. Yeah, didn't even know they existed, did you?
No, I spent so much time on 2 for sale by owners this year that did not pan out and I'm just exhausted with them right now.
That would do it. Well, go take some notes from James, man. That dude has, he either has a lot of patience or, he's gotten a couple that I thought were long shots at least. Anyway, congratulations. Big deal. In April, the Cornejo and Kerfoot team capped. So congratulations, you guys, and Don Peters, congratulations. You get to have, the rest of the year free. How about that? We're having to sell some stuff. Greg Teets. 6 years old today. Congratulations. Zach Anderson also at 6. Denise Wilson, 4 years, congratulations. Angie Powers all of a sudden has been with us for 2 years. And Claire Kuntz, 1 year old. So congratulations, you guys, and happy anniversary. In the month of May, we collected $7,300 for Revolution Cares. No,
We have a total
there is a total of $7,300. Thank
like
you.
300.
If you remember, there was, we've had more money in this in the last 60 or 90 days. We have had an opportunity to distribute some money. So we do give this money out as it's needed. So don't forget, if you know somebody that, could use a little bit of financial assistance, let us know, or come see Adam, come see an ALC member, either way. And, we'll get it directed in the right spot. You wanna do volume producers?
Sure. Judith Holmes, 2.5. Lyman Holmes, yeah, go ahead.
No, you're.
Lyman Holmes with 2.2, Melissa Stevens team with a little over 2 mil. Keisha Hopkins, 1.5, the fees team, 1.4, and is it Cornejo and Kerfoot, a little over 1 mil. It's pretty good.
I love it. Those are good ones. All the,
There's a lot of twos up there.
yeah, just all of a sudden it feels like May was a busy month. Anybody's been saying that in June, I've been saying it for a couple of weeks now, is that, man, it feels like spring hit. all of a sudden, right? We're just really, really busy. So congratulations. Yes. And Jesse's right. You start seeing a lot of $2 million numbers. I remember when I first started in the business and it was $1 million, people would sell $1 million in a month and be like, ooh, I can't wait to have $1 million month. But now you gotta have a $2.5 million month to be on top of the leaderboard. So it's a big deal, right? Times have changed a little bit. So really what that means, get with it. Spencer. All right, top producers in units. Melissa Stevenson shows up with number 1 with 11 units. Big mark.
Kelsey's like, yeah.
Actually, she's tied for first place. Melissa, the Peace Team and the Jewett Homes all did 11 units, so a lot. Alignment, Dawn, congratulations with 9. Sorry, Tucker, you're at the bottom of the list here, and Angie Powers with 5. That's good work. Listings. When's the last time Chad Evans was on this call?
I even sent it to him yesterday, but I don't even.
And somebody give me an invitation for congratulations to Chad. Oh, I didn't really even do it. All right. Anyway, congratulations, Chad. 7 is awesome. That's a big month. Melissa with 6, Tucker with 5, Keisha with 4, Minu with 3. Minu doesn't even live here anymore. Congratulations, Minu. I know you sold your house yesterday or the last couple of days. But she's still on our leaderboard, so we'll take it. Alignment group, Dawn with 3 and Trish Doherty with 3.
It's interesting to see that. I like seeing it because it's at least over in Peoria. We have listings, but boy, that every day I wake up and I look at that list and it just keeps getting smaller and smaller and smaller. So I'm glad to see other people that are putting listings on the board. We need more, for sure.
And listings, it's a list to last anymore, right? If you want to be in business in this market, you got the listings, don't you? Still
Well, and then
true.
how many, I don't know about you guys, I don't know how many offers you guys are writing, just to know, like, you're not getting it, you know, you can feel it, like, you just know, like, hey, this isn't gonna work. And we're writing plenty of.
Yeah, probably. So you're still writing a lot of multiples, right? Or against a lot of multiples.
Yeah, we wrote one, it was on Father's Day, actually. Of course, it's always funny that somebody put up a listing right before Father's Day, that's okay. Debbie Emanuel's, you know, and she's like, oh, we got tons of showings, and I'm like, I'm gonna put a dog in the fight, knowing that we're not gonna get it, but there were 6 other offers, and the house just got listed, it was like. And no matter what we could have done, there was no way to win it, and once I heard what really won it, I'm like.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
Congratulations.
yeah, congrats, like, there's no way,
Yeah.
you know, so unless you get your buyer to like,
Mine. Oh, you were looking at me. Was that the one that we did?
I don't know, did you win it? No, I don't win yours, so don't be bringing an offer on it. You're like, when does Deer Park go live? I'm not even telling you. Giving you the wrong combo. I don't even know this girl. Goes around, comes around.
Yeah, so we're clearly still not out of the multiple offer game. One of the reasons we're doing this CMA class is partly to come up with these strategies, is that based on the limited inventory, how does that affect your CMA? One of the reasons it's difficult to price houses today is because we're getting all these multiple offers. Does that mean you ought to be a little more aggressive with your pricing? Does it mean you ought to be less aggressive and try to attract multiple listing or multiple offers? Maybe.
I think yes, to all of it.
All right, right, so 9 o'clock tomorrow, we can talk about all that stuff, if you come back and have lunch with IMB and RSVP if you want lunch, because otherwise you're not getting lunch. Good. Luxury real estate. This is where it all comes together for us. We also call it our pinks and greens because, well, mostly we like green. It's a little troubling, and it's troubling, and Adam, seriously, Adam and I went round and round on this. You see, he takes the numbers very personally, if you didn't notice that. We talked about this quite a bit yesterday, because it seriously is disturbing to see pink. And at some point it gets hard to rationalize and justify, which is what I try to do every time I look at the numbers. So here's our challenge, and your challenge as well. When you know the numbers aren't turning in your favor, meaning there's a lot of pink on the board and my job is to put green on the board. Your job as a real estate agent is to put green on the board. You get it? So if this feels a little bit like failure, the biggest challenge is to look at the numbers and to stay in them and figure out what they mean so that you can make intelligent choices with your business so that we can get them green. That make sense? So we're gonna hit this head on and look straight at it and figure out the good, bad, and the ugly. So check this out, closed units. May of 23, we closed 167. We only closed 100 units last month. Okay, if you're not asking yourself why, you should be. Year to date, we're 413 versus 482. That's a 14% drop year over year. Okay? Don't worry, we're in a bad market. Closed volume. Similar numbers, we're down 31% month over month and down 9% year to date. One of the things to consider when you're looking at these, your month over month numbers. Are they higher or lower than your year to date, right? So when I look at 31% down last month and yet our year to date reflects 9% down. What do you expect to see out of our trend year to date? It's gonna go up or down? Probably gonna come down, right? So that 9% is probably gonna turn into 10, 11, 12, 13% here in the next couple of months. Right, so we can start to make some projections out of this. Again, this is about making business decisions, not about beating ourselves up for where we're at. Listings taken. 86 versus 69, it's down 21%, down 25% year to date. Listings taken volume, we're down 7% and 17%. Give me some feedback. What are you hearing?
Is this an us thing or is it the market?
That's KW. That's just us. What are you hearing? Anything? If this was your business. I mean, this is kind of your business.
Well, I'll say, there's a couple agents from other companies that are just cleaning up, and I don't know how they're doing it. Like, I mean, I have this one gal who keeps looking at houses in a certain price range, and it's the same listing agent every single time. I'm like, how is she doing this? I don't.
I think there is a lot of truth to business being concentrated amongst a certain group of agents. 100% that's true.
We did lose some agents too that were pretty heavy hitters, so. And I wouldn't say heavy hitters, but they were producing agents.
You're right on the,
Impacts.
you've got the majority answer there. I mean, it's not all of the answer, but it's majority of it.
So, I want to hear this. So, yeah, maybe as Keller Williams as a whole, yeah, we lost producing agents, but if we start to think about our own business. So we just leave Keller Williams out of it and say, well, what about my business, right? Because it doesn't matter who left or who was doing units or who's mopping things up. It's like, what are you actually, what's your business numbers? That's gonna move the needle in general for.
That's what he asked.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
No, that's a great answer, Melissa, and you're right.
I mean,
So
the market, I think the combination of the market and that are
Yeah.
probably why the numbers are.
as Adam and I analyze it, there's really, because of the agents that have moved, there's really probably no opportunity to make that. I say that loosely. We're not gonna make that up in the near term. We'll have to make it up by recruiting.
But I do know that several of our agents and agents I've talked to are up this year, so they're trying to make up the difference.
Correct. So, yeah, you're right. So what we wanna figure out is what makes those agents up? And Amy says it well. She goes, well, there's one agent's getting all the business. We have to figure out that why. And as this becomes about our individual businesses and how do we start to escalate those? It's important.
What do you think they're doing? What do you think they're doing to get all that business?
I do not know, honestly. I mean,
Are they a seasoned agent?
not really.
How about you recruit that agent?
Really? Yeah, I really don't know. I mean, she takes excellent photos. She writes a huge, long description of every listing that's like so long you don't even want to read it. But other than that, I mean, I think she knows a lot of people. I think she grew up here.
James McMillian is the name that comes to mind for me, right? That guy has 2 listings. How many veteran agents have not had 2 listings in the last 12 months? There's some of us, right? There's some agents in this office that have not had 2 listings in the last 12 months. What's the difference between an agent's been doing this for a while and James McMillian?
Effort.
Effort.
I don't, he doesn't know any better.
No.
Yeah, he just came in and said that's what he's supposed to do.
Yeah.
He wasn't spoiled by COVID. I feel that, I think that's all of us did. I know I did. I'd wake up, look at my phone and be like, sweet. Like,
Mhm.
It is really, really busy. Now we're like, oh crap, we need to go back into the trench. And that's what like, I can go off on a soapbox about Legion, of course, but if I don't have anything going on, like, what else am I gonna do? You know? Yesterday, I had great phone conversations with people just about the equity in their house. You'd be surprised how happy people are to talk about the equity, the money that they have sitting in their properties and what they could possibly do with it.
Okay.
Yeah. And it leads to other things, so.
I think there's agents out there too that are just, they're getting distracted by all the noise of all the changes coming and they're worrying too much and they're stressing about it and it's impacting their productivity, what they're doing right now. I think some of your newer agents aren't as concerned about that, because again, they're not as experienced enough, so they're just gonna learn whatever the way is. Where the other veteran agents don't wanna learn the new way. I don't know.
I'd be curious if they're, I don't know that agent, but if their numbers are up and maybe have a conversation with them where they're getting it, because I have a feeling it's some database. When the business is as scarce as it is right now, where do you find it? And it's gonna
Stacy
be,
can talk about that. She talked about it on Mastermind yesterday.
it's gonna be in your database. And those are the people, like, if you don't wanna call for sale by owners and you don't wanna just circle prospect or door knock. If you got past sales, you might as well just check in and say hi. You'd
Sure.
be
Can you
surprised.
share what you shared with us?
Sure.
It's really good.
Well, I've just been committed to working on my database every day, so I spend about 2 hours it takes me. And I have 60 new listings coming on the market, from last week to the next 3 weeks. And it's all from my database, so I just started at the very beginning. And I cross-referenced, it's sickening on how many people that I no longer have, that they're in my database that no longer live here in Wilmington.
Yeah.
So then I look it up on MLS to see who they used, and I'm like, why the heck did they use that person? And then it's sickening that there's some people that bought 22 years ago from me and I've never contacted them. And I always praise on my database, like I always thought I had the best database, and I do have good business. I mean, the majority of my business comes from my database, but obviously I'm missing a lot.
Yeah.
So I contacted a lot of them and they're like, oh my gosh, Stacy, great to hear from you. And it was like 22 years ago that they bought the house from me. I mean, I feel like
What was,
it's big.
what was the reason for your touch? Obviously, we know because you wanna get back in touch with your
I
database, but
just told them that I apologize, but I screwed up. I've not stayed in touch with you. And how are you guys doing? And you know, like one guy out in Downs, I totally forgot that I sold that house and I contacted him. And he was so excited to hear from me. And then I followed up with a letter. So every single one gets a note from me, a handwritten letter, and I also say in there about the equity in their home. If they'd like to know what that is or how to compete in today's market, I'd love to chat with you. And so I send out a handwritten note to all of them. And it takes me, like, you think I'd be done with it, and I'm not. I mean, because I cross-reference it, I make sure I get their emails and their phone numbers, make sure, you know, they still live where they're supposed to be. I mean, it's an eye opener, but I'm in my database every day. And I normally do it like in the mornings before I come in here. Or when I go home for lunch, then I spend it there and really focus on my kitchen table on 2 hours a day.
But 6 new listings.
Mhm.
it's huge.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sure, I'm envious.
Me too.
I am, just because I know how hard it is to get listings right now, and
All I can say,
I want
and I preach it, is that database. And if I would have stayed on top of it back when I first started 25 years ago, and every soccer game I went to, and every football game I went to, and all the stuff I did, if I would have added them, think where it would be. I have a good one now, just think what it would be like. So I just preach and preach and preach to add it to your database. I mean, it's that easy. That's the key of the business. That and getting out, talking to business owners, I think is huge. And I think, can you say who you're talking about? You're talking about? So I can say it, I don't care.
Is it
It's
Stacy
Kendra.
Jewett?
No, it's Kendra.
Oh,
okay.
See, I see Leah Vaughn, and all of a sudden she's got a ton of listings. But what I'm thinking with her, because she did no business, you know, like she used to do a ton of business and she went real quiet.
I kind of think because she now all of a sudden listed like 4 or 5 in a row, that, I don't know, if people see that on Zillow, like sellers, and they're like, okay, that name's popping up, okay, that name's popping up, I'm just gonna call that agent, if that makes sense.
Absolutely.
Momentum, for
I'm-
sure, is a thing.
I really think that, because I started looking at hers, okay, she listed this house over here, and then she listed this house here, and how did she get these people? She's really big in her church, or what, I don't know if she knows, but, I'm thinking that that's what it is. I think that people are going on Zillow to look at houses, and they see the same names popping up, and so they're calling those people.
Well, what happens when a sign goes into the house, catty corner down the road? What happens? It doesn't take very long and then there's another one that pops in the
Right.
road, down the road.
Yeah, you get a high profile listing. I probably had 10 contacts off of that listing that I took on Sherwood. Not from people wanting to buy and sell, just people calling and saying, I saw your sign. Weird. But yes, I think it makes a big difference.
Because I think if they don't have an agent, and they're like, okay, we're not gonna use this, we're just looking, and that could be like Kendra too.
Yeah,
Is,
because she's just listing a ton right now.
yeah, and I think it's just
Her
her
name
name.
would just keep
Mhm.
popping up.
And
Well, I
she's,
have to share, I cannot believe this. This is the first time this has ever happened to me, but yesterday I got a phone call. Someone found me just from my positive reviews that I had on Zillow. And they called me and they have a house to list. And they don't have to buy.
there you go.
Cause they're moving away. So I was like, oh my gosh, I was like, who referred you to me? And they're like, well, no one did. We just found you based on your Zillow reviews. And I'm like, oh, that's
Are they
awesome.
buying a house in another state?
They built one, so it's done, but anyway, that's never happened to me before, so I was like, oh, Tate's awesome.
I also think that it's important to keep in contact with clients that have moved out of state. Because, I mean, that's especially if you know, like State Farm, whatever, because if they retired and they left that, they moved out of state. They're still in contact with a lot of people here. I just got one yesterday from some people that retired 10 years ago. And, you know, so I have a separate entity in my database, how to tell people, because you want to keep your name in front of them, knowing that you're still in Bloomington. They have a lot of friends in Bloomington.
And it's always easy to think, they moved away, I should probably stop bothering them. Or touching them,
But they.
cause I fought that for years and I still like send stuff to until they opt out or whatever, but like.
Yeah.
But you're right, I mean, it can still get business here and or if they decide to make another move, they may reach out and be like, hey, did you say before you could help us with that? And that's
Yeah.
where we are.
And Tom, you were, don't take this wrong, but you were quiet there for a while, like last year or 2 years ago, and then I know you work in your database all the time, and then look what happened, you're just busy.
Well, and that's
So
what's
much
happening now. You know, I sold my house, I moved early part of the year. It was like, oh man, talk about taking 10 steps backwards, but now it's starting to, you know, momentum. It's all about that.
It is. Well, you know,
Just love on
you
the
were talking about, you know, at different times when you meet people and like you should have put them in your database. I think we're all like real quick to put somebody in our phone. But then we don't do anything with it unless we like need to call them or they need to call us or something. But it's like, maybe instead of just putting them in your phone, also put them in your database at times. But obviously the phone just seems so easy, but most of the databases are available in an app too, so why don't you put it there?
Yeah.
Just getting in the habit of doing that.
Good. Let's look at two markets, Mira versus Bar. You saw our numbers a second ago. 14, 9, 25, 17, ouch. Look at these numbers though, year to date in Mira. Up 2%, up 9%, up 4%, up 2%. Surprise anybody? Look at Bar, down 4% closed units, but they're up 1% in volume. Down 8% in listings taken. Look at these two differences in these markets. Listings taken in Mira up 4% versus listings taken in Bar down 8%. Tell you these markets are different? They are. Anything interesting you see about the markets as you look at just those four stats?
Why do you guys have inventory?
I was running stats yesterday for our monthly thing we send out, and a year ago now, the Bloomington market got really weird because a bunch of new construction hit and it sat. And so when I was comparing month over month, year over year, it looked really skewed because a bunch of new construction came on and it all sat, so it affected all of our days on market, our average price points and everything. When I removed new construction, we're having a better year than we had last year, but it just looked, it just got really funky and none of that has really sold.
Yeah.
And it's getting price reductions, and so if you're looking at Mira year over year,
That's interesting.
and PAR didn't have that.
I was just saying, pretty sure if we took out new construction, it would make it.
Yeah.
We have some that's selling though.
Yeah.
More importantly, right, and so we can go through and parse these numbers. The real challenge is how are you comparing to the market? So if I look at closed units in PAR and I say, hey, it's down 4%, can you look at your own business and say, hey, I'm down 20%, or hey, I'm up 20%? How do you compare to what's going on in the market? That's where the real question lies, or the real benefit of looking at these statistics. You know where to find your numbers? Yep, everybody nods yes. Easiest way is your multi-year trend report in MyKW. So go to MyKW, go to reports, pull out the multi-year trend, and it'll give you your month over month and your year-to-date numbers through May. Is that changing, Adam?
The only thing that would change is, updates for reports should be a lot quicker. We won't have to, that's once all the, market centers transfer to the new system. Pretty much like on June 1st, we will have June 1st stats. So you don't have to be upset that we're doing this on the, whatever day today is.
Here's just a quick snapshot of what that looks like. New listings, 571 or 505 this year in PAR. Mira doesn't track new listings that way. It makes me absolutely crazy, but it is what it is. Active listings in PAR, today's 520, it's 189 in Mira. All right, good, bad, or otherwise, I don't know, it's 1.1 and 1.2 months supply. It's not enough supply, right? Remember this, everybody's going, hey, this market's gonna shift. Is it gonna shift? So what would we call a balanced market in terms of supply? What would you call it? 6 months?
At least 3.
Can you imagine what 6 months inventory would feel like right now?
And when you look at that's where our days on market are skewed. Our median days on market is like 5 or 6.
Yeah.
But that average jumps that much with all the new construction.
With the new construction, that's really
Run
good insight.
median, yeah.
So we're probably closer in there. I'm just saying that if you don't think we're still solidly in this seller's market, we're solidly in it. I don't see anything changing. You're hearing some rumblings about Rivian or whatever else. I don't see this stuff affecting the market really in much of a big way at all. So if you're planning, if you're hoping that the market's gonna change and all of a sudden there's gonna be this inventory so that you can sell something to your buyer, you may need to realign your strategy. Right? Hope is not a strategy, right?
Why is the month supply up if the inventory is down?
Because the closed units are down, so it's using it relative to closed units. So it's a little bit of sometimes statistics are not the best option. There are on the table, I don't know if you guys follow this, I'll share this with you guys online. I think.
Sure.
Yeah, if you want to, that's fine. I didn't necessarily print one for everybody, but if you wanna take them, you can. I would just point you to this. In both MRED and PAR, there are these local market updates. This has the best kind of quick view of what your year-to-year stats are. In Mira, it shows up about the middle of the month, and in PAR, it shows up about the end of the first week of the month. But again, this is where a lot of my data comes from. Just wanted to give you guys the resource that if you want to go use it. So you use it through InfoSparks. Excuse me, you can find this report in InfoSparks or Market Stats through PAR. Got it? Good. Questions? Wants and needs? We got anything coming up? Certainly not.
We have some, but I just don't know when, and it might be a ways out, so I don't wanna.
Sure.
If I can plug real quick, the mastermind on Monday mornings, I started doing that with Dawn and everybody 3 weeks ago, maybe, or 4 weeks ago. It's probably the best thing I've ever done. I highly recommend anybody, if Dawn doesn't care, I don't know like how big you guys want it, but it's just, I don't wanna miss it. It's such an eye opener, and they talk about, everybody's business and what we've got going on, any hurdles that we have. But we talked yesterday about some of these houses that are staying on the market, and the insight that everybody had was really good, and it helped me talk to my seller that we've only had 2 showings since last week. That, we've had so many buyers are probably just burned out writing offers right now. And now they're waiting to see, okay, if they don't get an offer over the weekend, then we might go look at the house, and then we might be able to get it for a better price if we're not bidding way over. And I'm like, wow, that makes a heck of a lot of sense. And I just didn't think that way. And so that helped me when I talked to my seller yesterday to calm her a little bit of why we haven't gotten an offer yet.
Yeah.
But that was good.
And this whole pricing strategy shows up in there too. It's something I'm struggling with, where it's, I feel like we've gotten aggressive on our pricing. Right, and I think as we start to see things sit, honestly, I'm disturbed when it's been 5 days. So when it's starting to sit like that, you start to go, hey, wait a minute, what did I do wrong? I went on a listing presentation yesterday, and I walked in the house with a number of 250 in my head. Homeowner thought I was worth 300. And so I'm tempted in this market to go, hey, we'll make up some ground, right? We can do some things, and I believe we can. But that strategy is starting to show up where you can't be quite as aggressive. So it's just interesting.
Well, we're seeing a lot more price reductions.
Yep.
On the hot list.
Yeah,
I also think we got really lazy with marketing
for
and
sure.
just stick a sign in the yard and tell your seller, we'll look at offers in 3 days. And I'm pushing our team right now. I think between everybody, there's 10 listings coming on the market, and everybody just wants schedule pictures as fast as you can, go live the next day. And I'm like, no. There needs to be 4 or 5 days between photos and going live so that we can market. And we just race to get that sign in the yard. And one of the mastermind groups that I joined, like, they have 2 agents in there who have really, really good listing presentations and marketing plans. And they swear they go up against agents on listing appointments, and they're like, I get it every time just because of marketing. And I go, one of them takes 2 weeks from the time they do photos to the time they go live. And it's like, our team has it in their head that like, it's a race to get the sign in the yard. It's like, we'll get contracts signed.
Yeah.
But it's okay if it takes us a little bit to market, as long as that's explained. So
Yeah.
I think we all kind of got a little lazy on marketing.
Are they doing coming soon in that 2 weeks, or they're just not doing anything?
In her market, she can, not exactly, it's more like PARs than Mira.
She's just getting all this stuff.
But yeah, but like their open houses are a big deal, but like the way that they market open houses, they door knock, they it's a big production the 2 weeks before and the week that it goes live.
And that's interesting. Difference between getting a listing and not could be that.
Yeah, and their goal is that they have to replace the listing every time. So like her challenge to her team is, if we don't get a listing from this listing, we didn't do our job, in feeding our team. And so it's a totally different thought behind, like, I just feel like we're always like, go as fast as we can.
Well, don't we have rules though we can't put it on social media if it's not coming soon. We can only do it 24 hours in advance.
That's
Right,
correct.
it has to be in the PLN.
Yeah, I know, but how are you marketing it then? If you can't put it
Get all the
on
marketing ready.
Ready, yeah, like the virtual tour and like, cause by the time we take photos, it takes 24 hours to get photos back, and then you make it live that day. Well, you hardly have time. I'm not fast, so to edit a virtual tour takes me like 2 hours. And so just to get that done and posted, Like, our plan is to put it in the PLN and have it as it's coming soon and be able to get all that marketing ready, have all the marketing ready for an open house.
No,
So it's not like just.
Especially if they're
from
doing like
that,
open house invites or something where they're
Right,
target
right.
neighbors or whatever, and you gotta get all that design
Oh,
and
okay,
printed and. Then I don't.
Market to your database though,
Yeah.
and you're,
Mhm.
yeah, so
And it goes out first to like our pipelines, you know, so as soon as it goes, the minute it goes in the PLN, selfishly, it goes out to our database first and to anybody that we might have. So it's just, there's just, I'm learning, there's just a lot more forethought in that listing process and it's poking holes everywhere for us, but the slowdown is good.
I did do an open house on Saturday at 9, 10:30. I just wanted to share that because I was a little scared to do it at 9 because it's always been 10 or noon. I had 6 couples through. And I don't know if it's because it was like before they had other activities for Saturday or it's before anybody else's open house, but it was busy.
Yeah, Monday morning, James McMillian showed up in here about 9 o'clock and he said, he goes, hey, I did open house on Saturday. He goes, and I'm like, well, how was it? He goes, well, I don't really know. Because I had 16 people through. Is that good or? I'm like,
no.
We did one on our listing on Bluebell on Saturday morning, and she had 40 people through.
Wow.
I mean, and then Amber had one in Mackinac on Heritage Drive that we prepared to be busy. And one person came through. Now they wrote a
It's
great
all right.
offer and sold it, but, so it only takes one, but man, we got that wrong. We thought Bluebell would be hard and Heritage would be easy and.
What's the need?
BJ, I want to share something. Like now I'm here in Schaumburg, Illinois, and I just purchased one house here and the experience was so different what we do in Bloomington, Normal. Bigger cities, agents don't care. Literally don't care. Their attitude, their response is so weird. And I'm so used to of Bloomington real estate market that it was very hard to say somebody is writing an offer with full price, no inspections, no contingencies, and put a deadline. They really don't care about the deadlines. You have to follow up. So, which is very, very weird. And now I'm going to list one in Schaumburg. Probably it will be active first week of July or second week of July. It's a townhome. It's in a very hot market area with high school ratings and all that. And I have been told by a couple of agents here that list on Friday or Thursday whenever you feel like and block all the showing times until you host a first open house on Saturday for 4 hours. So what they are telling me, the trend here is no showings for 48 hours or 24 hours when it becomes listed, and just open 15 minutes before your open house and host an open house for 4 hours, and then just leave it open another half an hour for any agents to show and then block all the times. And they are so successful in creating multiple offers by just doing this. To us, it is so weird that we are not letting people in the house, and they write in their remarks very clearly, if anybody's buyer is coming, they have to be with an agent. If the agent is not coming with that buyer, meaning if I tell my buyer, hey, there is an open house, just go and see and let me know if you like it, they will not entertain my offer because that person went alone without me. It's just like very eye-opening here how they do. Very eye-opening here how they do it. Maybe it's a bigger market, but here listing agent is the king here. They decide, they run the show. You don't.
I guess if they don't allow the showings and they didn't bring their agent to the open house, there's no showings after that, who is the procuring cause if they did want to write an offer?
Yes, so that I'm telling you, they make their own rules here.
That's what you wanna get into, but.
Par would be fine. Everybody gets fine.
Well, we can't walk out. It has to be available for showings, so we
Yeah.
wouldn't be able to do that even if we wanted. I went to one of the sessions I went to, a family reunion, there was an agent in Wisconsin that was doing similar things to that. and having very good luck with it. And I sat there the whole time, I'm like, I can do that even if I wanted to because of the MLS rules that we have in cars, so. It's just different areas, but there's ways around that. Not the way that this agent.
No, but you can, I mean, if your seller is telling you to block out.
Yeah,
Brenda, you wanna share that listing?
we block stuff out every once in a while for cleaning. For just cleaning up stuff.
Someone's cleaning.
Somebody's cleaning.
I'm there cleaning. During an open house.
Every time Trish tries to schedule an appointment on one of my listings, cleaning. I didn't get that offer, did I? No cleaning.
No grudge there or anything.
I have a new listing, we just hit on the market last week. It's on Hancock, it's a condo. It's 4-bedroom, 2 full bath, a finished basement, all appliances, and has been totally gutted. I mean, really, really nice unit. The only feedback I got from the agents was about the location, but the condo is very nice. If you have any investor, because this unit can be rented also. And my seller actually made $2,100 per month rent on that unit for 1 full year. But they just want to sell it and move on to their next flip. So that's why we are selling. If you have anybody interested, please show and bring me an offer. I would love to work with you. And then I really need help on my Pamela listing in Sapphire Lake. It's a 2-story home, all 3 floors finished, 394.9, unit 5 schools. It's just we received offer, very, very good offer the very first day I listed, and my seller didn't took it. He didn't took my advice. He I tried to convince him, but he thought he will be seeing multiple offers and all that stuff. And we lost that deal. But right now I have not seen any offer, tons of showing. We dropped 5,000 also. But if you have any buyer in that price range, please show.
Sure. Brenda's
BJ?
got one coming up.
I have a need.
1412 Broadway, and has built 1903, has historic features, so keep that on your list. Go ahead, Judy.
I'm sorry, didn't mean to.
You're good.
Yes, I have a need for a 4-bedroom in either Parkside Junior High or Prairie Land Elementary, low 300s. So if anybody has something coming up on that, we need those schools. Thank you.
I have a commercial listing in the coming soon in parts, a mini storage unit, Pekin address, right between Pekin and Tremont, 1951 Mayflower Drive. It's gonna be going active July 1st, 2.25 million.
I have a ranch in Morton, 3-car garage, 4-bedroom, 3-bath, under 400 that will be listing. So if you want a one-time show before it goes on the market, just call me.
Unless.
It's Warren.
Lots of needs, going. All right. That's all I got. We do have an ALC meeting coming up in the next 10 minutes, so if you're here for that, please stay, and otherwise, have a great week.